Namaskar. Welcome to Women's Special Express. Happy Women's Month to all of you. We celebrate this month in listening to our inner souls and reminding ourselves that a strong woman knows she has strength enough for the journey, but woman of strength knows it is in the journey where she will become strong. Today we have a very special guest who has been on various journeys which made her more beautiful, fearless, and more loving. We will be amused to know her dreams and how she is making them real. She is a modern Jizai who has shown unique direction to her daughters and made them self learn by unschooling them from conventional school. She has spent relentless time with many other underprivileged, deceased, and special kids to spread the joy of learning and making them happier in a practical way. She is a founder of Open Learners Collective. She is excursionist who travels to the places that may not even exist on maps. She is leading a free life that every woman is dreaming while carrying all her responsibilities. Currently, she is living a very simple, eco friendly life in a small village where she has built a home with her own hands to nourish and flourish locals. She has started a project named Koi to uplift girls. It's our honor to meet this wonderful lady who is pursuing her ikigai. Let's meet this fearless, affectionate, and altruistic Supriya Raj Joshi on our show today. Namaskar, Supriya Tai.
Namaste.
How are you?
I'm good, very good.
Thank you for taking out time, especially with so many projects that you have it in hand. And now that you are sitting in one of the rural part of area in the India, where you are doing a very unusual journey on your own. Thank you for taking out this time and arranging all this setup to guide our viewers.
Thank you.
You are now a very famous personality because you're doing so many other things. And the special thing which kind of give you the best crown in the world that every woman or rather every mother would seek forward to, the best mother in the world. So let's begin with that journey. How you decided to drop out your kids from the formal education and move them on the homeschooling path.
So as far as I remember, thought of pulling them out of school came in my mind when I was working for young cancer patients. Um, when I was working for them, I was taking care of their education, and I have witnessed their deaths when they were trying to study the curriculum that I designed for them. That was the first time I thought the value of education that we get in our life, and it was definitely not worth um when what was at the stake was your joy or your life, like what I witnessed with the cancer patients. That was the first time I thought maybe some child might want to take a break because they are not keeping happy in the school. Maybe they want to take a break because school is not just a place where they can flourish. And I thought I should give this opportunity to our own children. And I was actually very good at designing curriculum. That time I was working in this field. So I thought it's not very difficult if they really wanted to study something else other than what school has to offer to them. So I think I just thought that I will ask my children, and we asked Malvika, Radha whether they wanted to leave their school. And yeah, initially they thought that Mama is just kidding. She's just asking us because maybe she's threatening us that if you don't do this, we will leave school or something like that. But slowly they started understanding that Mama is serious. She's giving this as an option, and maybe this is a better option. Children trusted me. That was one good thing. They knew that their Mama will do something or the other out of the decisions that she said. So yeah, one day they said that yes, we are ready to leave the school, and the journey started.
Wow. So might be your daughters trusted you, but how about your husband and the family? How the other people in your family supported this
So
cause?
it was not possible without the support I got from my mom-in-law. So she even in any adventure that I still do in life, she's the greatest supporter of whatever I wanted to do always. Um, that time also she said that if she is already a good mother, if we have seen that Supriya is raising her children with utmost love, how is it possible that suddenly on a day she will take a wrong decision? That was her statement, and so she trusted me just because I was really spending my time without doing my own career. I was spending time to raise these children, and she would always appreciate the ways and means I used for raising our daughter. And so, but my husband was not convinced at that time because Malvika Radha were scholars in their school, and everyone thought that they looked up to them as role models when they were in school. They were getting national awards, and in competitive exams also they were ahead of the rest of the children in the country. So yeah, Raj said, but why? They are doing just fine in school. But then it is very difficult to understand that curriculum or success or the awards or ranks is not, it is not the only thing that students should focus on. A student should focus on. Um, yeah, but then it was not possible to convince him of the things that I understood when I was working for cancer patients. So I just said, I think this is going to work, and let's do it. And if you really, so he gave me an option. If you really want to do it, then I will file divorce against you. But I knew that he was just trying to threaten me, and nothing of that sort happened. But I was a little bit determined to do it, and so with Malvika Radha's support, with Mama's support, we just started it. After that, I got full support from Raj. Um, One classic example is that he cut down his work hours, though he was the only person earning for the entire family at that time. But yeah, he cut down his work hours just because Malvika Radha needed us. We as a family learned many things together. For example, windsurfing is something that Malvika learned with her dad, Raj. So every day after half day of the office work, he would go with Malvika on the sea, and he would try to be with her while she was learning windsurfing. So yeah, he supported me with everything that he could.
Wow. So obviously it took time, it took everything to digest him and found that the things are really progressing very nicely.
Yeah.
So why not to join hands? Amazing. So this is one small example that your family supported it eventually. But what happens with the other community, with the community that we live in, with the surroundings that we are in, with the society that we live in? How that kind of negative aspects of seeing children not going to school, I'm sure it has affected those two daughters at very young age, as well as a family also. You must have taken so much of negative vibes from everywhere. How you decided to, or rather, how you cope up on all that front?
I I don't think there were any negative things that we have experienced. Yes, there were challenges because people didn't know about this option. So they were wondering why Malvika Radha, like our relatives, like our neighbors and other people in the society, they didn't know about homeschooling. Malvika Radha were not following any curriculum. So it is very obvious that they would feel concerned about it. But yes, it was a challenge because then we are living in this society. We need acceptance from the society as well. So every time if they are questioning what they are doing and why are we doing that, then it becomes difficult. And it was difficult then. Uh, but if you ask me how Malvika Radha were coping up with this situation, I think they were trusting me. They were trusting their mama. They knew that mama will not take this decision without having concrete plans. Maybe I think so. Um, so I have never seen them questioning what the options that they chose. Uh, I never saw them doing that. Sometimes when other children, they were told by their parents that Malvika Radha have left their school, and so maybe some parents told them that told their children that don't play with Malvika Radha, or some parents told them that their children that they don't know anything, they are very dumb. So all these things, when such things happen, um, I know these things happen because children came to me and they told me. Children are very close to me. So they would come to me and they would tell me that our parents are speaking like this. So um, I don't think Malvika Radha were really worried about what other children are saying, because we were together and we were discussing everything that would happen around us as a family. So I don't remember anything negative of this. Definitely, one thing is changed when Malvika got into MIT, that the same parents who were saying that don't play with Malvika Radha, they told their children, and children came to me and they said that thing also, that our dad is saying, go and play with Malvika, see what she has done. So be with her and learn from her. So sometimes parents don't know what others are doing, but they are concerned about their own children, and so they do it out of ignorance. That is what I think.
Okay, that's something to, it's a very interesting story actually, to understand and anticipate that. I'm sure those girls must have been affected at that point of time. But seeing how the parents and the family is standing with them, and they know that the
Yes.
purpose of what is landing in front of them, probably I think that had changed their attitude. So being at that time when the homeschooling was something was not a norm, neither there were like some relevant groups or networking facilities at that time available to figure out how many are the homeschoolers around the country, what they can do together, is there any network, or to find out their own children's strengths, weaknesses, things like that, and designing the curriculum that can lead them somewhere, which we don't know where it will be. How that journey you crafted, I mean, it must have been a really challenge to you. Now at least there are resources, there are so many options available, there are people who can connect from any part of the world and seek a help. But back then those facilities were not so in the ample amount. So how you made it work?
So basically, I am good at child-led education. That is the field of my interest. That was always the field of my interest. When I was facilitating education of cancer patients, it was different. The curriculum design was totally different. When I was doing that for slow learners, it was totally different. When I do it for street children, it is totally different. So I'm good at thinking what are the special, unique needs of a child or a group of children. Um, I think that the research or the insights were helpful when we designed what Malvika Radha will learn and how will they learn. In fact, not designing it will always help, and that is what I did. I facilitated their journey. So I think child education is not about parents deciding what their children want to learn, but then letting their children to explore what they want to learn and how they want to learn. Um, so that is what helped Malvika Radha in flourishing in what they were doing, because child education always works, and I vouch for it. So it worked. Second is, I think there were sleepless nights many a times, because I think Malvika Radha trusted me fully. They trusted me. They thought Mama had taken decision and Mama will do something about it, something good about it. So that did not let me just, relax, sit back and relax. So I was constantly actively thinking what best I can give to this situation where they have left their school and I'm there to help them. So whatever they wanted to learn in the night when everyone would sleep, mostly I would read or study that particular subject. I think that has also helped tremendously because next day when Malvika Radha wanted to learn a particular topic under that subject, their mama was there with them as their own peer. So I think that was very useful. For example, filmmaking. When Radha wanted to learn filmmaking, I learned filmmaking. I learned direction. I learned cinematography. When Malvika wanted to learn programming, I brushed up because I am in C already knew computer applications, but what Malvika was learning was totally different. It was going above my head. But I many a times I also read what she was trying to read and tried understanding that so that at least I understand what question she was asking. Though I didn't know the answer, but and sometimes children want to discuss things that they are interested in, what they are learning. And if you don't know anything, if you don't know the jargons, then they feel alone, even in homeschooling. So, especially in homeschooling. So, I think that didn't happen with Malvika Radha. I was their peer and I was learning with them, tried to learn with them. Um, Another thing we did is we never said no to the resources. Whatever whatever they needed to take their learning to the next level, uh, I I tried my best to make that available for them. For example, when Malvika wanted, when we bought, so when I bought one dictionary from Cambridge Dictionary from a shop, there's in I, there is a word impossible. Before taking that dictionary, I told him, just cancel that word and give me. I don't want impossible words in my dictionary, literally. So when Malvika said, I want to learn windsurfing, and there was no one to teach her windsurfing, and there was no board, and there was no rescue available, it was impossible even to think that a girl will learn windsurfing in Mumbai. But we made it possible. Um, that is why Raj learned windsurfing, and then he would accompany her in the sea. Um, he would go with Malvika. So we to such an extent we change the situation by making resources available to our children. So I think these two three things really help them in succeeding in homeschooling and minimizing the challenges.
Amazing, amazing. And there is another journey of Radha where she started picking up mountaineering,
Mm.
and
Yes.
went for trekking with you. It was another astounding journey to note on.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So
So, how
Raj.
did you thought about picking up these the courageous sports, or some very unusual sports as their activities? How they even thought about it? Because in India, windsurfing is not something that we would see.
So yeah. So then I thought I still think I always when homeschooling parents come to me, I tell them that the topmost benefit to the homeschoolers is the health. If because now the entire world has realized the same thing that health is while I was working with young cancer patients, that was the realization that I got that there is nothing more important than physical and mental health. So again now for health, diet and sports, the exercise, being physically active are important things. So for Malvika Radha also the there was one condition. There were many conditions, but one of these conditions was okay. You can leave your school, you can learn whatever you want to learn, but you have to be active. You have to choose one sport, and then which sport? So till that time, they were not involved in any sport because in their school there was no such option. There were some options, but Malvika Radha were never into really into sports. So then I had to list down all the sports that I could copy from the internet. And then Malvika looked this list. There was some 65 sports or something that I wrote, and there were some impossible looking sports like windsurfing. Uh, and I thought she will select something like football or badminton. That is what generally children select. Girls, I don't know, girls, I mean boys. So, but Malvika saw that list once and she said, "This, I want to do windsurfing." So, and when so Radha left her school 1 year after Malvika left her school. So that time she already knew that Mama will ask me what sports you want to continue with, you want to start with. So she always loved nature and photography. So she thought roaming around the mountains would be good. So let me tell mountaineering that will give me a lot of opportunities to do these two things. So she her choice was already ready. So that is how they chose mountaineering and windsurfing.
Amazing. I mean, nobody would have thought of this kind of list would come and some unusual
Yeah,
thing would be picked up
yeah.
and you have to actually chase through. But hats off to both the parents who did that journey with the kids. Many parents want to. They love seeing their kids growth and want to be active. But most of the parents are also limited with their own career. Some careers are very demanding. For example, if you pick up the medical profession, the doctors are always occupied at very unusual times, especially if they're working in the ER or the emergency situations. Then, for such kind of parents, thinking about homeschooling is a way different dream to achieve, or support their kids in this kind of manner, kind of a challenging activity, or uh, I mean that always conflicts with their priorities, although the child is a priority and a career is also a priority. But given certain circumstances, not everyone can cope up with the homeschooling option for their kids. So for such parents, what would you advise, what they can do in their whatever qualitative time they want to spend with their kids?
So I think parents' role cannot be negotiated at any cost, and whether your child is homeschooling or schooling, it is the same. When parents come to me, I tell them three things are important. One is your presence, second is listening to your child, and third is dialogue with your child. So I think all these three things need time. And one example that you gave me is uh, what the parents who are into profession like medical profession or some other time consuming professions would do. I really have no idea if they don't have time for their children, how are they going to uh, administer these three things? But with whatever little time they have, I think if they really want to use this time effectively, first they have to be present to observe the things. This observation will make us aware of many things. What your child is liking, what are the emotions that they are facing. Many a times children don't come and they don't straight away share these things with us. Um, and every time, if we are not observing and constantly speaking about what is in our mind and how we want to guide them, we miss these opportunities to learn little things. So, yeah, being present and observing what your child is doing. Uh, One classic example is that one of the parents who really she follows what I ask her to do word to word. So she came to know about her child's hobby when she observed her observing when she was cooking. So when she observed her that when her mama is cooking, she is observing what she's putting in what ingredients she's using, and then she asked if she wanted to try cooking. And now she's baking. The little girl is now into baking, and she bakes her cakes, and she has started her small business of selling them. So this observation can make us aware of what your child is good at and what they are liking and what they are not liking. I think second thing is definitely listening to them. These are very common things. We read these things in every book, but we don't do them always. We are in the mood of speaking, and we want our children to listen. But I think if you listen, children will feel good, and you will come to know a lot of things that you never knew about your children if they open up to you. Third thing is, as I discussed, if anything is making you worry about anything, or you want to see a change in something that they are doing, I think dialogue is very important. And dialogue is not preaching, dialogue is not guiding them. Dialogue is sitting with them and asking them, and then sharing your opinion. And this dialogue is when both are at equal level. Yeah, I think these three things, if they could do with whatever little time that they have in their hand to spend with children, I think it is very useful, and it has helped many other parents who come and tell me, "Hotai," like they when they speak in Marathi, or they say, "Yes, it worked. It is helping us." So yeah, if we really focus on these things, that should be useful.
Wow. Thank you for that valuable advice. As a kid, we were in that boat. We not most of us had that kind of leverage or the privilege that somebody would listen to us, take us to serious mode, and whatever the child is saying would always been agreed at home. So such kids, when they become parent, for them it is a little challenge, open challenge, to opt and to adapt to that kid's mentality and to listen to them. And also, like when the kid comes up with some unusual questions or unusual paths to pursue, to
Okay.
nourish them, to flourish them without seeing the result. Because most of the world is result oriented. They want to see, that's where the school names are, kind of becoming popular. Because if you go to this particular school, for sure you have a success rate of 90%, 95%. Not just that, now there is a coaching mall in the world that that drives the child's success. But listening to the own child, listening to their own strength and weaknesses, it's something that is never been taught. And it is so important to do that and guide your kid accordingly. I like many guests on my show in the previous, they have always noted that don't follow something that can be the norm and that can be the only way to succeed. But sometimes some Picasso would take a birth, and you have to see if the child is Picasso and just give at that point of time the right justice and time and the resources to your kids. So I think this is a wonderful advice, and a wonderful note to note on. Thank you. So, having said, this is one challenge for the people who are working in the industry, who are working in very challenging jobs. But what happens to the people who are in the villages, who are in the small towns? Those parents have time for their kids. They have empathy, they can do a lot of things, but they are always limited because most of them might not be educated. If some of them are educated, at least can read or write, but the resources, finding the resources, networking with the right pair of contacts might be a very strenuous journey for them. For such parents, what can be an option, except relying on their schools or whatever aids that they have in their town?
So I'll share with you one question that I asked one of the girls who stays in this village, small girl. that where does she want to go for a picnic. So actually, I asked this to all the girls, but one girl replied that she wants to go to the beach. And if we ask our children, they will say, "I want to go to Switzerland, I want to go to South Africa," whatever their dreams are, their dream destination is. So, so these children, if you ask me, their dreams are very small because I am not saying this is a good thing. You should see big dreams, but they see very small dreams. The background that they are coming from, uh, when they are really talking about a very small village. Now that I go on solo trips all over India, and I go to many villages and I see them, the families and the girls and children. They have very small dreams, um, and their parents are really capable of fulfilling those dreams because, first of all, they don't have dreams related to education. Uh, their parents are capable of teaching them craft of living life. So if you compare the joy in everything that these children do, it is, and even if when they are grown up, the way they face the challenges of life is commendable as compared to our children who in lockdown, many are children, they started getting up late, or they started taking granted the online education on, and many such things. They started using mobile phone than for more time than ever before. But these girls continued, this children, they continued doing their housework, which they were doing even before the lockdown. Um, so I think they are very good at learning the craft of living. But as you ask, and you rightly ask, how can their parents support them if they really want to benefit their children, give benefits to their children, what other homeschoolers get? Mm, I think Sachin Desai has a very good model to to answer this question. He used the talents that his moms and dads already have, and which will vanish if we really don't give these talents in a systematic manner to the next generation. So in one of his talks he said, uh, the person who comes to take garbage, we have to learn how to take garbage from that person. So we have to give them the somebody who comes for cleaning school. Children should learn cleaning from that particular person. Why are we saying that somebody who knows history is professor of history and somebody is cleaning? He is just a cleaning staff. No, children should learn even these things also. So in the same way, these parents who stay in village, they know how to create handicraft, they know how to grow things. I mean agriculture. They know how to face challenges when everything is against them, against all odds. Uh, so I think we should systematically make a provision that will make them possible to give this knowledge to the next generation. Just now, when I went to one of the villages in Jaisalmer, I saw that the older generation made extremely beautifully hand woven. They call that cloth something. There's some word, but now that art is not taught to the next generation, and so slowly that art is now nobody is able to do that again. I mean, in the next generation. So yeah, I think we as privileged people, for more fortunate people, should think how we can save this knowledge, what we don't have, but maybe that cleaning staff has, or maybe a person who knows how to do handicraft has, and then um, I don't know, I am taking an initiative to develop a system to give this knowledge to the next generation, but everyone can do their bit. And I really don't want to say what others can do, but yes, I'm developing a system that can give the next generation opportunity to take this knowledge from the previous generation. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you. And that's where your this Majira project has come into the picture. Would definitely be interested in knowing it. Now you are located in a very small town of Maharashtra near Srivardhan, in name of Punia town, right? And there you have taken up this huge challenge where you have built up this home and doing a lot of things which can grow local economy, which can support locals over there and grow things. So yeah, now that you mention about your project, we will be interested in knowing this Majira journey too.
Yeah, so Mazira is just the name of the house, and the work I'm doing is with the village and villagers. Um, I'll share both the things. So Mazira is now I'm sitting in that house. This is completely eco-friendly house, and I have chosen to live sustainable lifestyle. And that is what I chose. So even right from building this house, I was involved in the work. I have designed this house on my own without an architect, and this with these hands I have worked in the double work. I don't know if you know this term. I was also not knowing this term, but now I know them. एक number खड़ी, दो number खड़ी, all these things, and uh, so I at 9 o'clock, my 9:30, my work would start just like other laborers. If I needed holiday, I will also mark my absentee. So I worked as a laborer when we did this house with laborers, other laborers. Um, and this is a brick house. The bricks are not burnt in the bhatti in the like other bricks, and there is no plaster. This is kind of a mud house with kachi eat, the unburned bricks. This house is built. Many people, everyone actually, they come here. They say this is the most beautiful house we have. So there are many very beautiful houses, but maybe people who came here they have not seen. That is what they say. This entire house is standing on 35,000 liter rainwater harvesting, and mm, we have not used tiles or any artificial material. We have used only stones and wood, bamboo, um, and I have done many things like paintings and even the flooring work I was participating in doing. So what else? Yeah, so I got the things which are second-handed mostly whenever it was possible. So many things are and there are mud burtons. We also cook in mud pots. Mm, this house has no doors. Even if I go for inside the house also, there are no doors. Um, so there are no rooms, not even a single room. It is just one house. So everyone, there's no privacy for anyone, but this house is open for everyone, each and everyone. Because this does not have, though it has a main door, it does not have lock and key. If I go somewhere for even for a month's time, this house is absolutely open. Anyone can come and stay in the house. This is what about Mazira. And so, as I shared in the previous response, my dream is working with this village. They are very, very simple villagers live here. They have when one widow who is very, very poor, she does not earn, so people give her money, and then she gets the food of that day. And when she met me, and when she saw that somebody else was giving me a treat. She thought that she should also give me because I am a guest in their village. So every day she started getting something for me, whatever she got. If she got three chapatis, she would get one chapati for me. And she's really every day she needs money from others to survive. And one day she got chicken for me, and she said, "आज मैं आपके लिए chicken लेके आई. I got chicken for you," and she was very happy. She was looking very happy. So I said, "But why? Why?" She said, "क्योंकि आज मुझे ज़्यादा पैसे मिल गए. Because today I got more money, so
Wow.
that I could cook chicken for you." So she did not think that today I got more money, but what about tomorrow? When she got more money, she thought I will give a better treat to my guest. So then when I get this house and I complete this house, and if I put it in lock and key, my mind says that you are not a good person. You don't have a good heart. When it was time for taking from people, you took, and now it is time to give back to them. So I really wish people understand everyone, like those who are well-to-do, who belong to well-to-do, from well-to-do families, who come from those families, and those who are not so well-to-do with their living. This house is open to everyone, and this will remain open to everyone forever. But at the same time, when it came to working in the village and working with villagers, uh, I think I have to do two things. I have to bring the knowledge that I have to them, and I have to take knowledge that the elder generation has, the older generation has, to the world. So I have started this activity with two very small projects. One is so I have just started, just began. So um, I have just began to connect with young children. I thought they will do anything for me. If I have big projects, they are my helping hands. They are my left hand and right hand to take these projects ahead. So I have started connecting with them by taking their classes, very funny classes. We don't learn curriculum, we learn other things, and we learn them under a mango tree. Every day we gather together and we discuss very beautiful things together. And that is what I have started. And second thing is soon we will come up with a product that this villagers can do their specialty, and we will bring this product to the world. I hope I am able to do that. I'm not very capable of doing big things, but I just hope I am able to help them with these two projects.
I'm sure you would. And that kind of thing just reminded me one incident, one story which is very famous from the Rabindranath Tagore ji. When he opened his school in the West Bengal, at that time there was so many kids in the Shanti Niketan, and most of them were playing, some of them were studying, and few parents just dropped by to look at what's going on in the school. Is the guruji is taking kids to the right level and things like that. So when they saw their kids were sitting on the branches of the tree, some were just observing the rivers, some were just observing the birds. They were all started and they started scolding in a scolding tone. They went to Guruji and said, Rabindranath ji, what is it about? Like, we send kids to learn. And what you're doing, only few kids you have who are studying. We see them as a bright future of the country, of the world. But what happens to these are kids who are roaming around, who are watching birds, who are watching rivers, who are sitting on the branches doing nothing. And then he said, you know what? I'm not worried about them. I'm only worried about people who are just trying very hard to study. Because the world has never got anything back from those kind of people, but have always got from these free people who have a free heart, who have a willingness to traverse.
Oh yeah, this is a great story. And I take this opportunity to share a couple of things. The children who so first day I just went to a village. One person from a school helped me to and he introduced me to four girls, and I these four girls were little reluctant to come with me. Also, they were feeling very shy, and then they came, and we started sitting under a mango tree. Second day, three, four more girls came. Now we have some 15, 16 girls. Every day, every alternate day, one more girl comes, and they tell me, "ये last है. This is the last girl, huh? Please, please, you take her also." And I tell them, I will be crazy every day. I don't know how to, how to handle so many children. But then, when class starts, I don't want to call it as a class also, but when that time starts, you will see children sitting on the branches and doing their own stuff, and it looks so beautiful. I have some pictures if you want to share with your audience. And what they generally do is very important. Um, that is what we never do in cities. There is a teacher, and teacher teaches children, but in this under the mango tree that they sit, the two things prevail. Either children are doing their own stuff, uh, and the things that they have learned in last. So only 1 week back, I started this activity, and within a week's time, the things that they have learned, if I list down, you will be amazed. Someone, a girl who did not know even one table, now she is learning 20 ka table. Hmm?
Oh.
20 ka table. So she did not know even 2, 3 ka table. Now she is learning in 7 days. She is learning 20 ka table. So basically, they are either self-learning, very very motivated to learn new things. Not just math, they learn many other things. And otherwise, if they are not self-learning, they are teaching some other kids. So it is such a collaborative space in that mango garden. They are doing their own stuff, or they are just helping each other. There is no competition. There is no ambition, unneeded ambition, which is not needed. There is no quest for marks or scores. In fact, just like in that story, what you explained, parents came, mothers came, and they told me, don't take their classes here. Snakes can come. There is some kabristan, this graveyard also nearby. Don't take their classes here. I said, okay, if you don't want to send your children, it's completely okay. But every day at 3:30, I will come and I will sit under this mango tree. And on the next day, some three, four girls didn't come to the class because their mothers maybe they forced them not to go to the class. But after that day, even more girls started coming, and even those girls came. So girls are vouching for this class, which is a good thing. They are motivated to learn and grow, and under an open environment, in an open environment. So I think I'm enjoying this, and this is the success. Uh, not what they will learn, but they are enjoying this class is quite a success for me.
For you, the journey itself is always a joy, whether it was for your kids, whether it's for other kids, whether it's for yourself. So this journey started with your kids and it has taken it to the very highs now. You have also helped children near the Godavari River who used to pick up the coins from the river and play casino. And they would not know what else in the life they can do. And for such children, you help them to sit and learn. We'll like to know about that as well. So that is also one of the inspiring story. And I have to ask these stories because you're not connected to any organizations who are doing this kind of bigger work, who are getting any credits anywhere. Neither you have aspiration to establish any organization that can take its own highs and have some credibilities or things like that, but you are doing it for the sake of joy that you get out of it. And And when you see anyone who is changing for the betterment, that sharing of that joy is the utmost important certificate for you. So that's where I have to understand that story for my viewers and many others that will come along.
Yeah, so I was not the only one who did this with the children in Nashik, who again came from very less fortunate background, and they were not going to schools, and entire day they would just jump in the Godavari river. They would find some coins, and then they would play jugaad, that is casino. Uh, but Father Gregory, who for whom I was working, he one day he asked me, "Supriya, what do you think? How can we help children in Nashik?" And so I started researching on his question, and I came to know about these children, and entire financial support was provided offered by Shelter Don Bosco. I just did work for them, so I just want to make it clear. And yes, so one day, when we went to meet these boys with my staff member, we went there. There, neither they were interested in improving their life, living better life, nor their parents. Because when they would earn 100 rupees in this play, in this game, and they would give them that money to their parents, and their parents thought, "Chalo, paisa to aata hai. At least money is coming to house." So many parents are least interested in educating their children. So a journey started from that. First convincing the parents, then convincing the children. Then we brought 15 children to a place and we started living with them. I started living with them. And that time it was so difficult for us because children wanted to run away from that place, even in the night. And then every day they brought some coins. They were hiding some coins with them, and every day when I was not around, they would start playing the same game. So I thought how to connect with them then. And one day I told them, see, I want to learn that game too. I will also become richer if I play that game. If there's my luck. Um, then they said, no, 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 don't teach her that game. This is a bad game. She's a good lady. Don't teach her that game. So then I said, no, I am a good lady, but you teach me that game because because I want to connect with you. I want to play this game, and you don't connect with me if I don't know your game. And I really learned that they taught me that game, and that was the turning point. I started playing jugar with them, and then they started connecting with them slowly, so much so that they said yes, we want to learn. That time they were ready to do anything what I told them. And again, that time also in 7 days, um, they started recognizing 1 to 100. They had never seen a single number. If you showed them digit two, they did not know how to read that. But in 7 days, they started recognizing numbers up to 100, and now each and every child is attending school. Someone is in class 7, someone is in class 9, and they are not earning very good marks. I don't expect that, but their life is changed. They will not go back on that path again. Everything that we do should be love oriented, is what I think. That is why I'm not very attached to the success that that is far away. I don't know if we reach there whether we will be happy or not, or we will be happy for some other thing. Like um it is like after getting so much money we want more money. After getting one degree we want another degree. After getting some good food, we want some other food. We want a sweet dish or something after we finish that food. So they are never happy after reaching to a place that is really chased for a long time. But uh, that is not me. I think if this moment is love oriented, we will be happy forever, right? So if this moment is fear oriented, uh, fear about the success that we will get some one fine day, I think I will not be able to enjoy the current moment. So everything that I do, right from Malvika Radha's homeschooling, and I tell other homeschooling parents also that let this journey be love oriented. If if your existence is fear oriented, even if your child is going to school, you will have anxiety about their 10th class K marks, 12th K marks, their success, their career, their marriage, their children's marriage. But if it is love oriented, you will see them making mistakes, and you will appreciate the nature that created this being who make mistakes, who fall down and then get up and then learn to walk. And you will be witnessing this with utter joy. So that is what I think worked for me.
Wow. What you just listed is a very high spiritual concept. That for that people are taking, I don't know, how many courses, how many sessions just to attend that one present moment thing. We are all lost somewhere. We are all having, some aspirations. We are just running many a times. And it is true for most of us, although we know that this might not be that joyful, but for the sake of running family, for the sake of running with so-called materialistic uh, the points or the stepping stones or the kind of a peak to attend, everybody is in that path. Disconnecting, being dispassionate about it, and coming to the point of a very basic need and leading in that way is a huge different challenge and a journey in itself. Everybody wants to attend it. Maybe some will succeed in this lifetime, some may not. But this is a leading example and a living example sitting in front of us who has been doing this for a long, who has taught her own kids in that way. And that's why probably they are not fearful. They're taking up so many challenges. Malvika is now pursuing a PhD from Berkeley University in the quantum physics and such a high subjects that theoretically it sounds impossible to someone to imagine. But she's taking up her own journey. Radha has done her own peaks. She has climbed a mountain. She has climbed the Everest in a very worst situations, very worst weather conditions that they were not even known at the time of going and things like that. So these things are just happening because they're enjoying their journey. And I'm sure this program can motivate one of you at least to lead, to start that journey within you. And that's where I'm very happy to have Supriya Dai on our show. Well, we have talked a lot. We have understood her such a huge journey, but we haven't understood about her the gypsy life that she's leading. And she would just travel to the boundaries that we cannot even imagine, or we don't even think that they can be our bucket list destinations to attain, and feel such a proud about it, even while designing those destinations without any path. Some towns that don't even exist on the Google Maps, don't even know what kind of life there it is. And she's leaving to those travel. She has traveled to the Kashmir Pak border, the LOC area. She has traveled to the east, the Meghalaya, and the Assam journey, which was another thriller, I would say, going all alone without having agenda, without having any plans, without knowing where she would stay, whether there would be any comfortable situation for making the daily routines. And she just on her own exploring those people, exploring the mindsets of the town. So we want to know more about it, Supriyatai. And I want to know where you get that courage from, to travel to the jihadi areas, travel to some Naxalite areas, and still being so comfortable about it.
I will start with one extremely beautiful incident. Um, when I met some terrorists in uh, in Dartpore village. There is a village called Dartpore, and we went there with Malvika, Radha, Raj. All four of us were there. We took interview of terrorists in that village, and then when we were leaving from that village, the entire gang of terrorists was walking with me. It was on the hill, uphill, and then on the hill there is Darpura village, and then Malvika Radha Raj went ahead, and I was walking with this gang, and the head of the gang was walking with me and asking me questions, and he asked me what is itna sab kuch hua, all this interview got over, but we did not ask you what is your religion. So what is your religion? He asked me, and that time I was literally scared because we are Hindus, and in the entire interview they were saying. No matter what. If you want to go and show this clip to everyone, show it. But we will be terrorists. He was saying in front of camera. They were so fearless. And when he asked me, I said, "See, I'm a person because I was afraid. So I said, I'm a person who doesn't care about religion. I don't believe in religion. But so he said, but you have a religion. That is what I want to know. What is your religion? So then I said, if you really want to know the religion, then we are Hindus. So he said, ये बोल के आपने गलती कर दी. You made a mistake by saying that. And not in this tone. So it was, generally they speak in harsh tone, right? At least we feel that they are speaking harsh. And they were having guns with them. So I thought this is the last moment of my life. Malvika, Radha, Raj, they just disappeared. They were ahead, and I thought I will not be able to tell them. But 1 second, in the next moment, that person told me that आप इतना अच्छा जो काम करती हो, you are doing such a good work. If someone asks you what is your religion, you should learn to say that insaniyat, humanity is my religion. And when that terrorist told this to me, I said, what are we doing? So much prejudice about everyone, about everything. And I remember that was the last time I think I got afraid of um, big threat in my life. What people think is life threatening. After that, I went to Hindustan-Pakistan border. I stayed there for nearly 27 days, and I did not have money with me. I just carried 5,000 rupees because I knew that this was a place where money won't work. Love in my heart and love in other person's heart would help me survive. So and that was true. I saw so much love in those villages where no civilian can go. And I was the first and the last civilian in one of those villages who could reach there. Uh, and and it was highlighted. My feeling was highlighted that fear is in our head and in our heart, but there is nothing to fear about most of the time. And if we carry this fear in everything we do in our life, we will not be able to see such precious things. And that realization is so strong that now I also get afraid of many things. Then I remember if I get afraid, I will miss some precious things in life. And then so I think it works for me. It slowly disappears, and then I see new precious things in life. So now I don't think I get afraid of anything. It has repeatedly happened so many times that I don't I don't generally get afraid of things. So when we built this house, there was no one staying here around this place. Um, it was kind of a jungle, not jungle, but no one was in a land and no human being around me. And I have seen all the seasons, rains and summers and dark nights. There was no light also, and there was no shade also. I was just having one. one cot, one chaupai, and I was just sleeping on that. And in the morning, I would take bath before, either in the darkness after the work got over or early in the morning. And I would cook some food here and there just to survive. And now this beautiful house everyone can see, but that time people wonder how did you live for so many months when there was no human being, because labor would come at 9:30, and they would leave at 5 o'clock, and after that no one was there, no human being, and I stayed all alone without fear. So I think now it has become a practice, but as I shared with you, I get new precious things in life, more beautiful things, just because um, I'm not afraid of them.
Wow. I cannot even imagine taking that step as one adventure. Whenever we would go for camping, also, I would make sure I have torch in my hand. I have people in the same tent staying with me. I have things planned where I would get few basic necessary the food and things like that. I mean, it's really a commendable job that what you are doing. I mean, many must have told you. I don't have to repeat the same, but it is. And coming out of that inner fears of, being afraid, the first instinct when things are not known, we get afraid, we get scared because we don't know how to react, what to
And
do.
I think we don't know what lies ahead. But if we face the fear, if we really, and 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 then I'm not talking about taking any risk, any stupid risk. Um, but again, what people were thinking that I'm taking stupid risk by staying here. Um, some thought that there are ghosts. Some thought that any man can come and trouble me. Some thought that there could be snakes and scorpions. But but more than that, the experiences that I got, that like I told about that lady, like other laborers who completed our house when it was raining heavily, and everyone stopped their work, but our labor, they came and they completed our roof because they thought नहीं ताई को जल्दी कंप्लीट करके देना है, so they were like angels for me. So all these experiences I got just because I faced the fear and I stayed with them. I was being with them. When people generally choose to stay in their homes and then monitor how their house is being built. So I think there are perks of facing your fears, and um, like one of my friends, I just made friendship with him in this Jaisalmer trip. He said, fearless life is a luxury, and that is very true. I think once you live that life, you will understand how beautiful is life without fear.
What you're saying is true, is the ultimate truth. Fearless life is the luxury, and many won't afford it. It takes a lot to earn that. There are so many experiences in your hand which have enriched many others as a viewers, many others as a readers, and I wish you all the best for penning down all those experiences for us in one of the book. We are longingly looking forward to it as one of the guideline to go for. Many people need that guideline. I mean, not everyone can find their own journey. Some people need guides in some or the other way. Some experiences help them, some actual work has helped some other people to motivate and get onto the journey. So yes, we're looking forward to have a consolidated book from you on this for sure. So let's get on to the rapid fire round. What is the next word that comes to your mind when I say animal?
Better than human being.
What is the next word that would define a
Uh,
success?
being happy in the moment.
If there is a book that you have to write which can depict your life or a biography, what would be the name of it?
No, I won't write. There's nothing. I don't know. I'm not a good writer. I would never write that.
And the next word that comes to your mind when I say dyslexia?
Nothing is impossible. I
Amazing.
think even if I had dyslexia, I earned a degree that required a lot of studies, MCA. So if I could do it, anyone can do it. Yeah, nothing is impossible.
I'm sure it is. So now that we have come almost to the end of this show, uh, as a norm, we always look forward for the advices from our guests. And the question is, for generic people or for the common people like us who think they can do something but they don't know what to do, and they are always find some or the other limitations, time limitation, resource limitation, money limitation, or sometimes they don't even count on their abilities that they can contribute to the world or to the certain problems that they see and seek the solutions for them. What will you advise how to get up from that stage and just start working for whatever cause that appeals to you?
So, one day, a great psychologist Pratima Havaldar, she told me that if you are taking your child to children, there's Malvika Radha would sometimes come with me to St. Jude's, where I was working with cancer patients. She told me that does not mean that they will be more empathetic towards these children, but maybe tomorrow they will choose to be away from social work. That is what she told me. Because they will see their mama dedicating in her entire time to social work, and then they will think, no, I will use that time for my family. And maybe tomorrow they will choose to do more social work also. So nothing is in our hand. So I would suggest if parents really want to do something for a cause, they should think what what is close to their heart, and they should do that thing because only then they will give their 100%. And maybe children will not do something for a cause just because their parents are doing, and just because they accompanied their parents, that they will see their parents giving 100% in something they are doing, and that is more important. Um, so that is one thing. Practically, if you ask me what they can do, so first, my first point is don't do anything for your children. Don't do anything for anyone else. Uh, for a cause that is very close to your heart. Uh, if if you give your time, if you put some effort, it वो दुगना तिगना रिटर्न आ जाता है. You get in multiples, in the form of joy, in the form of peace, but in the form of rich experiences also. But practically, if you ask me what others can do, um, I think there are four things that you can give. One is your time, by doing something online. Right now, our project also, we need online volunteers, and it is not the only project. Uh, Online volunteering is a big thing coming up because right now everything is going online. So volunteering also opportunities. There are many opportunities, online opportunities. So that is where you can give your time and you can also share your knowledge. Third thing is you can give your money, and fourth thing is just be with a person who is working for a bigger cause. That will also like people love to come and stay with me. I don't know. They think that after staying with me, after spending time with me, uh, they get to hear from me. They get some valuable thoughts. That is what they might be thinking. Um, but in the same way, if you are being with people who are giving services to this society, who are doing seva to this society, to environment, to poor people, you get at least you get to hear the thoughts from them. So include them in your life. Just be with them. Just know them. Just have them on your WhatsApp list. Spend time with them. And even if you do that, I think that is very very enriching because something that you can't do, um, you can see some other person doing, and you can learn from them. So that is the last thing that they can do.
Yeah, I think That's a very innovative thought to give. Don't have to really do something very big, very drastic, but some small things that can help giving joy to someone else at that moment, can help them succeed, can help them showing the way with your knowledge, with your skills, whatever little that one can do, should do it. That will definitely make this world a better place to live, a better place to enjoy, and the journey in itself can also help one to enrich and look after to the life in a very amazing way that has led to them. And this is what we have, amazing note from Supriya Tai. I'm very privileged. I'm very honored that she could share this time. She could share her true feelings with her. She always shares a true feeling, no matter whoever is sitting in front of her. So it's a amazing journey to watch and to get inspired from. I'm sure viewers, you have, like this guest, you have learned something for the homeschooling, especially in the pandemic. Now that we are struggling with the online schooling for our kids, we now know that there are some better alternatives that exist. And now that we are anyway sitting with our kids for the online schooling, why not to take one extra step and look forward to our kids, to look forward to our child's interest, and see how we can craft their journeys the way they want. Sure, that can help your child to grow happily. And it, as a parent also, you would enrich the journey with your child. And I'm sure with that you would be able to spend amazing time with your kids, and you can connect, which most of the parents complain about. So that can also help. Let me know if you like this guest. Please post us your comments and share your reviews about it. We would be happy to take up any guest from any master field that you're looking forward to. Let us know if you have any guest in mind, or who can help us in this journey, who can inspire in some or the other way for all our viewers. I would definitely be taking your consideration. Do not forget to subscribe and like this show. Thank you.